What's going on, guys? I am here with Philip Dinkins, the Director of Leasing here at 100 North Tampa, Tampa's tallest building. Is that correct?
That is correct.
So I know you wanted to tell us a little bit about this building. Give us some history.
Sure. Well, we are known as 100 North Tampa, which is also the street address of the building. And as you said, we are the tallest building in Tampa, also the tallest building on the west coast of Florida. We are 42 stories tall, and we are 589 feet tall, which gives us that record. We are a Class A office building. We have 17 floors of parking in the building, actually 15 floors of parking, 27 floors of office space, and a two-story lobby. The building was built in 1992 and remains the newest building in downtown Tampa. Although 1992 was a long time ago, there has not been a new office tower built downtown since we opened. So we've held that record for a long time, along with the height record as well. The building was developed by a company called the Paragon Group, which developed many office buildings in West Shore and also downtown during the late 70s and 80s and 90s. And the partner on the project was AIG, American International Group. It was a real estate investment for them, and Paragon served as their partner and developer. I've been involved with the project since it was even just a concept. Buildings like this typically, you've got to put together a game plan. You need to round up an architect, you need to round up tenants, you need to get financing, and you need to get it built. And all those can be challenges, and we successfully went through all those challenges and got this building out of the ground in the summer of 1990. It took 2 years to build, and we opened July 1st of 1992. Another record that we have, not only our height record and not only our being the newest building downtown, is also we've been the most successful office building in downtown Tampa's history. The building opened in 92, as I said, and in 1998 we hit 100% occupancy, and we've remained at that level, or maybe 2 or 3 percentage points below 100% for most of the history of the building, which is really a record. Currently we are approaching 99% leased, and we project that next year during 2016 we'll hit 100% occupancy. We get the highest rental rates downtown, and that's because we're the best building here. The tallest, the newest. We have a lot of amenities in the building. We've tried to put together a package of amenities that allow our tenants to do things here at the building rather than having to make stops on the way home. We have a YMCA fitness center. We have a concierge, like in a hotel. We have a car wash in the building, dry cleaner, a newsstand, a bank, a Regions Bank, of course. This is their state headquarters. They have their name on the side of the building. And we have a building conference center as well. So we've tried to, again, pull together things that people normally need to do during their workday, and they can get them all done here and then go home and chill. Most of our tenants are law firms, which is pretty typical for downtown. I would say probably 50 to 60% of our tenants are lawyers, but that's typical in most downtown areas. We have a lot of Fortune 500 companies here, a lot of financial institutions, banks, brokerage firms, and accounting firms.
So what has been your favorite amenity that's been added to this building?
Well, of course, all the amenities we've had since the start. Personally, I like the car wash. It's just really easy to give my keys and get the car washed by Ken Ramos, who does our detailing here, and have the car put back in my parking space. That's a great amenity. The YMCA is a great amenity to be able to work out in the building and shower here. We have a side entrance for runners so they can get out on Bayshore and run at lunch and come back. We have a park, a city park, part of the Riverwalk project across the street on our western side, and the Y will have classes there, weather permitting, which is pretty nice, and you don't have to make a stop at the gym on the way home. So, and also the concierge. Vicki has been here since the day the building opened. She takes good care of our clients and their guests, and it's just a nice service. It's a complimentary service, doesn't cost our tenants anything, and I think it's one that's very much appreciated.
So walk us through a bit of the names. I know 100 North Tampa isn't the original name.
It is not the original name. You did your research. The original name on the building when we first got the financing put together was the First Union Center. First Union Bank had committed for a block of space with us, and we were going to give them naming rights on the building. While the project was being put together and construction commenced, First Union merged with Florida National Bank. I believe it was Florida National. Anyway, they acquired another office location downtown, which all of a sudden now they had two. So they opted to not continue with us and take the lease that they inherited. We then got a bank out of Atlanta called CNS, Citizens and Southern Bank, that came in to be our anchor. Again, we're still under construction here, so no one's moved in yet. And they were purchased by NCNB, which is now Bank of America. Okay. While they had some space here, they didn't want to open a branch in the building. So we swapped the naming rights for the branch location. They continued to have a lease of a couple floors in the building, and were here for many years. But we took the branch site back, and we took the name back. And at that point, we kind of got the picture about how quickly bank names change. And if you look at the other buildings in Tampa and most cities, one of the things that changes most often is the name of the building. Because every time the bank merges or whatever, then the building name changes. And that affects our tenants. All of a sudden, they've got a new building name. So we decided to take a generic name, one that wasn't going to change, and that was 100 North Tampa. That was our street address. And we have stuck with that name in the past 25 years that we've been open. We did secure a bank. Regions is the bank of record here, and as I mentioned, they've got their name on the side of the building on the 37th floor in 6-foot high letters, and they have a branch in our lobby, and this is their state headquarters. But although people call us the Regions Bank Building, we really are 100 North Tampa. And kind of a cool aside to that history story is that as a result of not being named after a bank, because we had a generic name, 100 North Tampa, we've had over the years as many as 3, 4, and 5 financial institutions in the building at the same time. J.P. Morgan Chase is here. Typically, they wouldn't want to go to the SunTrust building. They like being in a building that's generic named. And we've had that same situation with a number of tenants. So it's allowed us to keep the building full, get a lot of good paying financial related firms, and not be tied to one particular bank name that's going to change from time to time. So it was a good decision, and it's worked well for us.
I can see. So let me ask my final question then. How does the threat of newer and taller buildings affect 100 North Tampa?
Well, it's interesting that you break that into two. I'll break that into two answers. First, I would predict that in our lifetimes, and you're a younger guy than me, but I think I could include you in this. I don't think you'll see a taller office building in downtown Tampa ever built than this one. What's happening with office buildings is that the newer generation of buildings that you see are typically shorter, typically bigger footprints, which is the size of your floor. Our floors are 22,000 square feet. We have the largest floor footprint downtown. Some of the older buildings are 15 or 16,000 feet. So you see it, we grew into our generation. The newer buildings that I think you'll see, again, office buildings, are probably going to have floor plates of 30,000 feet. And they're going to be shorter, squattier buildings. They are not going to be the elaborate design that you see in the current towers that form our skyline. And they're going to be more generic. That's my prediction. Now, we will see taller buildings than this. Those are probably going to be residential buildings. They'll either be condominium towers or apartments or hotels or combinations of that and perhaps some office space. The Trump Tower project that, as everyone knows, was announced and failed back during the recession was going to be a condominium tower that was going to be taller than this building. And I predict something in the future will come that will be taller, probably a lot taller. We've seen some things in the paper that projects at the port, projects in Mr. Vinnick's property down around Channelside, properties near our location here along the river. But I think that if it's going to be an office building with office space, it's going to be shorter, probably 25 stories, 30 stories tops. So I think we're probably the last of the high-rise office buildings, and that also makes us special.
Yeah.
And people like views, and we're all about views. Another
we can see.
thing about the building is that because of our parking garage being 15 stories, our first office floor is on 16. Most buildings, their first office floor is on the second floor. So all of our views are spectacular, which is what makes the building popular. I will mention that the building is now owned by Prudential. Prudential bought the building from AIG in 2007, and they have remained our owner ever since. A big institutional owner, huge office building and apartment and shopping center and all kinds of real estate investments across the globe. This is one of their best performing projects here in Tampa, so we're proud of it and glad to be a part of it.
Well, thank you, Phil.
Thank you.